name is Shirley Kashi. I am from St. Mary's Verona Church Parish, Palinkanu. This is my husband, Thomas Anthony, and these are my children. I took the first covenant on February 2025. I would like to share the reason for taking this covenant. I did not believe in the Holy Mother. I am now 42 years old, and in all those years, I had never asked anyone for intercession. I always prayed only to Jesus for everything because I believe he is a loving and compassionate Lord. I used to ask, why should we pray to the Mother Mary or other saints? If I ask Jesus directly, I will receive what I need. Then why pray to the Mother? That was how I thought. In December, I noticed a white discharge coming from my right breast and felt severe pain. I couldn't turn over or lift my hand. I went to Pushpagiri Medical College, where the doctor examined me and took a sample. He said a biopsy would be needed and that I should take a scan before that. I got an appointment for the scan 3 days later. When everyone at home heard about this, they were very worried because both my mother's younger sister and my father's younger sister had breast cancer. Both had undergone surgery to remove their breasts and were suffering due to chemotherapy and radiation. Everyone feared the same would happen to me. I was heartbroken because I have 3 children and kept worrying about who would care for them if something happened to me. My mother is a great devotee of Kreupasanam Mother. She kept praying to the Holy Mother and told me if you pray to her and go to Kreupasanam, she will change everything. Still, I did not pray. I continued praying only to Jesus. One day, when I opened the Bible, I received the word, I want to take you to my mother's house, to the one who carried me in her womb. I received that same verse 3 times that day, but I still did not pay attention. I told my mother, our church is St. Mary's Verona Church. I already see Mother Mary there. Why should I go to Kreupasanam? I kept arguing with her, but my mother continued to pray for me. Before going for the scan, I saw the doctor again. The secretion had returned, so they put a dressing on my breast and told me to go for the scan. Before leaving, I called my mother to inform her. She said, I saw you in my dream yesterday. Kreupasanam, Mother touched you and healed you. I saw her appear 3 times and show me your face. That means she has touched you. Even then, I didn't believe. I said, let my mother's faith save my mother. Then I reached the scanning room. The doctor asked me to lie down and started to scan. While scanning, he asked what my issue was, so I explained. Since it was a medical college, there were many doctors in the scanning unit. The doctor called another to come and look. I immediately thought something was seriously wrong. After scanning, they said your breast appears completely normal. They couldn't see anything abnormal. I was shocked. I had lain on the table in pain, but now when they asked me to move my arm, I felt no pain. The same surgeon who had earlier found the secretion came and examined me again, but now there was no discharge, no pain. I could lift my arm freely. Everything had changed right there. I couldn't believe it. I asked the doctor what to do next. He said, you can just remove the dressing and go home. When I reached home, my mother said, it's because of Kreupasanam, Mother's blessings, that nothing happened. You should go to Kreupasanam and take the covenant. So I searched online to learn what the Kreupasanam covenant was. But when I read about it, I thought I couldn't make the covenant. I like to do everything perfectly or not at all. That is my principle. When I heard the rules of the covenant, I felt I wouldn't be able to follow them because I have 3 children, household responsibilities, and studies to manage. I can't do everything. So I came here and thanked the Holy Mother. I didn't bother to take the covenant. I simply looked at Mother's face and thanked her. But I couldn't pray at all. At that time, my husband went upstairs to take the covenant. When we returned home, around 6 o'clock, Mother's song began ringing in my ears. Along with it, I heard the words, O sacrament most holy, O sacrament divine, all praise, all thanksgiving be every moment thine. I told my husband about it. He said, you weren't downstairs when I went to take the covenant. Maybe you feel this way because you heard that song there repeatedly, but even after 2 or 3 hours, the song was still ringing in my ears. Finally, around 12:30, I couldn't lie down. I took a pillow and covered my ears, even covered my head with a blanket, but the song wouldn't stop. By 3 o'clock, I told my husband, I have to go to the Kreupasanam. I can't sleep. So at that moment, we called all the children and went to Kreupasanam. When we reached the gate, I said, Mother, please forgive me. I will take the covenant myself. The moment I said this, the song that had been ringing in my ears stopped completely. When my husband went to park the car, I stood in the queue to take the covenant. I told him to look after the children because I wanted to take the covenant myself. As I stepped onto the red carpet, I began to feel vibrations. When I looked up, Mother was not in glass case. She was standing outside. I was terrified because I had never seen or experienced anything like this before. I knelt down and moved forward. When I reached the Ark of Covenant, I saw Mother still standing outside. I was too scared even to touch her, but suddenly my hand was drawn toward her like iron being pulled to a magnet. At that moment, I felt a current pass through my whole body from head to toe. That was my first experience. The second experience happened while I was preparing for my OET exam. I wrote it 6 times, but failed the reading section every time, always by just 1 or 2 marks. I scored B in all the other parts. I was completely disappointed and told Mother that I was tired of trying. After taking the covenant, I began listening to the covenant meditation, which I really love. I listened to it 3 or 4 times a day, and I failed the OET for the 6th time. Joseph's words from the covenant meditation came to my mind. Behold the handmaid of the Lord, let it be done to me according to your word. I repeated those same words, offering myself to the Lord's will. I felt Jesus didn't want me to go abroad again. I had already worked in Saudi Arabia for 11 years, but couldn't return there after resigning due to pregnancy complications. My twins were small and I had no one to care for them. I thought that if it were a European country, I could take them with me, but that hope also faded. So I told Mother, let it be done to me according to your will. When it was time to renew my covenant, I wrote in the assignment, Mother, I have written OET 6 times and failed. Tell me what your plan is for me. Will my life remain in this kitchen from now on? Then I heard a voice in my ear saying, write MSc nursing. So I wrote down MSc nursing in a paper. Even though I had completed my nursing studies in 2001 and hadn't studied for over 20 years, I had done post-BSc nursing in between, but I didn't know the current education policy or how to apply. I asked around, but everyone said, how can you do MSc nursing at this age? I searched in Tamil Nadu and Bangalore, but admissions were already closed for the year. Then a friend who is a nursing professor called me and said, admissions in Kerala haven't started yet. You can still apply there. It's very difficult to get a seat as there are only a few available. Because I had to care for my children, I can't go far to study. So I told Holy Mother, what should I do now? And applied to 3 colleges near my home. One of them, St. Thomas College, Chattopuja, had only 4 seats available. My name was included in the rank list in the very first allotment itself, and I received the opportunity to join on November 1. The third blessing I received is related to my child. My child has severe allergies, not only food and dust allergies, but allergies to almost everything. One day, we were traveling to the Thiruvananthapuram Nursing Council to submit my nursing papers. It was my first time visiting Thiruvananthapuram. That night, my child complained of pain in his eye. Since he often had allergy issues, we didn't pay much attention at first. But as the night went on, the pain became unbearable. When he opened his eye, I noticed a white patch around his pupil, full of tiny pimples. We had already booked a 5 a.m. train and had to take both children with us. The child cried in pain the whole time. I gave him a painkiller, but every time the train stopped, he complained again. What could I do in a moving train? I prayed to Mother in my heart, Mother, what should I do? I am going to a government office, but my child is suffering. We are from Polankunu, where there is only one primary health center, and the doctor visits only twice a week. I told my husband that we must take the baby to the hospital immediately when we returned home. But when we got off the train in Thiruvananthapuram and reached the nursing council, I noticed something amazing. Right across the road was a large eye hospital, the Regional Eye Center. When I was praying on the train for just one doctor, Mother gave me not one, but hundreds of eye doctors. The hospital was full of specialists and had all the facilities we needed. Though it was my first time in that place, I felt Mother had already gone before me to prepare everything. The doctor examined my child immediately, removed the white scar on his eye, gave him an injection, and treated him. The pain subsided and his eye began to heal. They said it would take 6 months to 1 year for complete recovery because it was a severe allergy caused by medicine he had been taking for another condition. That night, my child had a dream. He saw the Holy Mother coming on the waves and telling him, eat the covenant salt. apply covenant oil to your eyes, and drink covenant honey. And I followed exactly what she said. I applied the ointment for a week, gave him the covenant salt, and prayed daily reciting the creed. The illness that was supposed to take 6 months to a year to heal was completely cured in just 2 weeks. Later, my son told me that in his dream, Mother took him to heaven. There was a shop there where rosaries were being sold. Mother gave him one and said, "Pray the rosary and your sickness will be cured." After taking the Marian Covenant, our whole family grew deeply in prayer. Even my children began praying the rosary regularly. Wherever we went, even in the car, we prayed the rosary together each morning. After reciting the apparition prayer, we started our day with the rosary and we never missed our evening prayers. The apparition prayer is a by heart for children. At home, we have a statue of the mother. Each time my children leave for school, they go to the statue and say "Tata" to Mother. That is how close we have become to her. She brought me, someone who once had little faith, close to Jesus and herself. For so long, I was just a Christian in name, someone who went to church on Sundays and confessed only at Easter. But now, I have truly become a follower of Christ. As Father Joseph used to say, I have become a Christian who does what Christ says, not just one who listens. A million thanks to Jesus, the Holy Mother, and our loving God. As a work of mercy, our health center and government hospital have no canteen nearby. So we prepare and distribute food ourselves for the patients admitted there. We buy what we can and share it freely with everyone, giving water and food to anyone in need without discrimination. If we see someone tired or troubled, we share whatever we have and then fast and pray. Now, my greatest desire is to bring the 3 children God has blessed me with closer to Jesus and to raise them in faith. I know the world ahead is full of challenges and hypocrisy. To remain steadfast, they need the help of Jesus and the Holy Mother. Without them, I don't know where my children would end up. So I have dedicated all 3 of my children to the Holy Mother. I thank Jesus and our Mother for all the blessings we have received and for those yet to come.
Psalms 45. How many wonders the Lord has done for us. How attentive he is to all our concerns. There is no one like him. If I were to declare and speak of them, they are too numerous to count. How beautifully Sister Shirley Koshi shared her covenant life experience with us. When Mother includes loved ones in the Marian Covenant during moments of deep need, there is always a divine purpose behind it, and it always bears fruit. After 20 years of completing her nursing studies, it was Mother who told her to pursue MSc nursing. Shirley searched everywhere outside Kerala, but all admissions were closed. Then, a friend called and told her that admissions had just opened in her own state and that there were only 4 seats available at St. Thomas College, Cherupizhu, but there was no guarantee she would get one. Yet, right there near her home, the Holy Mother opened a way for her daughter to study MSc nursing. Everyone wondered why she chose to study again after working for so many years, but the word that Mother revealed to her in prayer was clear: MSc nursing. To proceed, she had to go to the Nursing Council office. At that time, her child was very unwell, suffering from severe eye pain. The health center near her home had a doctor only 2 days a week, so help was hard to find. But when she reached Thiruvananthapuram and got off the train, what did she see? Not one doctor, but a large high hospital filled with doctors. This is our Holy Mother, who goes before us and prepares everything we need, who cares for us far beyond what we can imagine. How can we strengthen our lives in faith, grow in spirituality, and nourish ourselves with the love of God? How can we live in this world in a way that makes our lives pleasing to Him? The Holy Mother constantly reminds us, through such experiences, to trust, to believe, to walk in faith.
Ordinary experiences of God can be yours. If you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel yet, subscribe now, share this video with your friends, and become a true disciple of the Lord.